Hey guys, welcome to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's Thursday, it's 9 o'clock, which means it's time for a magic stuff. And today we're going to be doing something that a lot of people have asked me to do, which is a deep dive into another one of my close-up performances. And you know what we're going to do today is we're going to look at some coin magic. And the reason we're going to look at coin magic is I get two questions on this channel a lot. One of the questions is, can you do more audience management videos and have a look at live performances and dissect them? And the other thing that people say is, where can I learn coin magic? And I think one of the reasons for that is I do a lot of coin magic. I'm known as a coin worker. And so a lot of people are wanting to learn more coin magic, and they're looking to sources as to where they can actually do that. So we're going to be looking at one of my coin routines. Now, the specific coin routine we're going to be looking at is the master coin routine, or the monster coin routine, sorry. And I put the monster coin routine on Parlour, my DVD Parlour, which came out about 4 or 5 years ago. And when I put it on Parlour, I put it as a 5-phase routine. There was a production, then there was a coins across, then there was a 3-fly, then there was a flurry type sequence, and then the coins vanished, and then there was a jumbo coin production. Okay, so you had all of that different stuff in there. A lot of the time when I'm doing walk around magic though, I'll just do the coins across sequence out of that routine. It depends on how much time I've got. So what I have here, what I thought we'd do is we'd look at that routine performed in two completely different environments, so you can see the difference between the two environments and how I manage the audience when I'm performing coin magic. So the basic overall effect of this routine is that I have 3 coins, one at a time. They jump from one hand to the other, and we're using the spectators' hands. They're cupping their hands together, so they're actually going from my hand into the spectator's hand. And then there's a jumbo coin production. There's a 3-inch production, and then there's a 5-inch production. Now, I'm not going to go into how the routine works. Get Parlour for that. What I will tell you is this coins across sequence is a variation on the David Roth shell coins across. If you're doing coins across, I think that shells are one of the best ways to actually go, because they allow you to be able to very cleanly show 3 coins or 4 coins. You close your hand and you can get a very clean vanish of one of those coins. So I do a lot of shell work when I'm out performing in the real world. So that's the routine we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at the monster coin routine. We're going to look at the coins across phase. So let's start off by looking at one of the performances.
So, I'm going to get, actually, could you do me a favour? Or can you do me a favour? She's your girlfriend. Can you hold her stuff? Because she's going to help me with this first.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask your dad, but I'll ask your boyfriend instead. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's not more responsibility.
My dad's
Exactly, yeah. You got someone to do this for you. Can you stand right there for me?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Brilliant. Guys, gather around. Come in closer. Come in closer. Anybody wants to see? Come in really close. Now, we're going to start. It's been said before. I'm going to show you something with some coins. 3 coins, silver American dollars, big solid silver coins. I want you to check them out for me. There you go, there's one for you. Have a look at them, make sure there's no wires, no your hands are no magnets, no threads, no trapdoors, no secret compartments. Make sure they are what they appear to be, solid silver coins. Looking good? Good job. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. So Sophie, you're going to be my glamorous assistant. Take one step forward. What I want you to do is cup your hands together like this for me. That is great, like you're Oliver Twist asking for more. So I want you to watch, guys, one at a time. I'm going to make these coins jump, pass, travel invisibly from one place to another by magic. Okay? By the way, do you know what this is called? It's called showing off. Just so you know. So here we go. One at a time. Up the sleeve, across the chest, down the other sleeve, into your hand. Now, you're not going to see them go. You will, however, know when it happens by the look on Sophie's face. There will be a look. Because when they land in your hand, you're going to be like this. Do you want to practice the look, or do you want to be spontaneous? Just like that, that's perfect. Do you see the 3 coins? It looks like this. When I pull on the finger, the first coin goes. Watch the 3 coins. It looks like this. Just go up and down. There's the look.
God, what?
And the reason it looks there, she actually felt the first coin jump from there over to there. That's coin number 1. That's the bit where you go, ooh. Or maybe not. I'll do it again for you. Too late there, Matt. We'll try it again. Here we go. 1 here, 2 here. I'm going to do it again. Now this time, when I pull on the finger, you'll hear it land, okay? Watch carefully. 2 coins. So when I go up and down, watch. Clink. That's the second coin across. That's coin number 2. One last one. Hold out one hand for me this time, nice and flat. There we go. That's 1. That's 2. Would you like the last one to go the easy way or the hard way? I'm glad you said that. The easy way sucks. It's not very impressive. We'll do it the hard way. Look, nothing in my hands, just 3 coins. In a second, Sophie, you're going to take the top coin, put it in my hand, just like that. When you put the top coin in my hand, you will immediately squeeze this hand around the other 2 coins. In other words, you're not going to let me get to them at all, okay? So just reach over, take off the top coin, put it in my hand, squeeze the other 2 tightly now, turn your hand over. Is there any way I can get this last coin into your hand? No way at all. And squeeze really tightly. Her knuckles are turning white, that's how I know you're squeezing tightly. Can you do me a favour? Can you rub the back of my hand? It's got nothing to do with the trick, it just feels nice. That's it. Guys, talk amongst yourselves for 5 minutes, and we're good. There we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. If I told you it was there, would you believe me? If it is, they're going to give me a big round of applause. Turn your hand over, have a look. Now we're going to go one step further. See, what we're going to do now, we're going to try and make the coins disappear. Magicians won't normally tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to make the coins disappear, one at a time. Sophie, how many here?
3.
1 here, 2 here. Do you want this one to go first or one of these 2? Take this, hold it at the tips of your fingers like a little mini magic wand, okay? And wave it over these 2. Say go. Any questions? You know what? I'll do it again, but this time you get to make all the choices. I'll do this one of 2 ways. I'll either put my hand in my pocket and make it disappear one-handed, or I'll leave my hand in full view with my fingers spread so I can't hide anything. What would you prefer? That one. You don't trust me at all, do you? Watch this. How many coins?
2 coins.
Say go.
Go.
Still no questions, right?
No.
Last one. This is the years of practice, this one. This is the reason I had no girlfriend all the way through uni. Check it out. Watch this. The final coin. You take the coin, you put it over there like that, it jumps over there like that. You put the coin over there like that, it jumps down there like that. You take the coin, you touch it to this elbow, it comes out this elbow. You hang it over there, it goes out from underneath your elbow. Take the coin, squeeze it, it disappears. Now it's still there, you can't see it until I blow. Comes back again. Take the coin, put it in my pocket, it goes right there behind your ear. So every trick needs a big finish. Hold your hand out for me, Sophie. This is the big finish because you cannot get much bigger than that. Thank you. Actually, I'll say you can't get much bigger than that. The one behind your ear, that's bigger. Yes, way. It's not magic, it's inflation. It's completely Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Right, so you can see that that routine was performed in an outdoor style event. It was actually a festival. It was an outdoor wedding festival. So it was a wedding, but they kind of gone for a festival feel. So everyone was very casually dressed, and I think that that was in a particular marquee, but they'd rented out a big field and they had a whole bunch of other stuff going on as well. So the first thing that I want you to note with that routine is you have to make sure that you pick the right person. And I'm not being sexist here when I kind of say a lot of the time when I'm performing coins across and the magic happens in the spectator's hand, I do try to have a girl be the person that I'm performing it to. And there's a few different reasons for that. And the first reason is they're more likely to react in a really strong way. And it's really important that you get that reaction, because the problem with coins across is when the coin lands in their hand, if they don't react, there's literally no trick for the rest of the spectators until you pull your hand away. But if they react, then what happens is the audience that's watching, the spectators that are watching, they react to that reaction. So women tend to react a little bit stronger. Guys tend to be more macho, especially when there's other guys around. So you'll do this and, you know, I'll pull on the thumb to have the first coin go across, and literally they won't do anything. Nothing will happen. It'll just be like that. They won't do anything, which kills the routine a little bit. So especially if it's your opening routine, and a lot of the time when I perform this, I'm doing it as an opening routine. So the first thing that I can tell you is pick the right person to perform the routine to. Make sure that that person is more likely to react, okay? Now, the next thing that I'll tell you is you can see at the beginning, I give the coins out for examination. When I'm using Morgan dollars or half dollars or coins that are alien to the audience I'm performing for, I have them examine them. And I make, but when I hand the coins out for examination, please note that I'm not just saying, here, I examine the coins and I'm sitting there in silence. You have to make sure when you're performing close-up magic that you're doing something the whole time. It's really important to make sure the whole thing's entertaining entertaining and engaging. So have lines that you can script. So, hey, look at these are $half, check them out, make sure there's no trapdoors, no secret compartments, no wires, no magnets, make sure they are what they appear to be. You never want to trust a magician. And I'll speak to other people, because I want to try and get as many people involved in the performance as possible. So a lot of the time I'll hand the coins out to 3 different people so that 3 people are involved, and then if there's somebody that's not involved, I'll say, here, you know, it's really important that people know that the coins are okay. I'll get them involved. The person who's receiving the coins, so the person who's going to be the receiver, the coins are going to go into their hand, I'll normally not get them to examine it, just because I'm trying to get as many people involved as possible. And again, as with the last video that we looked at, you want to kind of draw people in as well. So as people are walking past, try and get them involved in the performance as well, a little bit like performing street magic and building up a crowd. Now, notice how I do the first coin when the first coin goes across. So I show the 3 coins and I say, hey, I'm going to make the coins jump from one hand to the other. Now, a lot of the time, just as an amendment there, I'll do a coin roll at this point. And the reason I'll do a coin roll is I want people to realize that I'm not just some bloke off the streets that doesn't know what he's doing. I want that display of skill in there so people can see, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. But I'll normally tell a joke with it. So I'll say, hey, sir, do you know what that's called? It's called showing off. Now, I know a lot of people that are watching this are going to be kind of, oh, you don't want to tell cheesy jokes. I have no problem telling cheesy jokes. You watch my performances, I'm joking all of the time, and I'm doing rapid fire jokes. Some of them will hit, some of them don't, but I want to try and make it as engaging as possible for people. So I have no problem doing cheesy jokes. And I do the coin roll, and then I hit them with the joke, because I don't want to come across as a show-off. Look what I can do and you can't. No, no, no. So, you know, that's why, another reason why I do that joke there. So back to the first coin across. Notice when the first coin goes across, right? I explain the premise. So the coin's going to go up my sleeve, across my chest, down my sleeve, into your hand, until in the end all 3 coins have gone across. Do you understand? And then I put the coin back and I do the move. So I've got the extra coin classic palm, and I've got the 3 coins laid out. Then I say to the person I'm performing it for, I say, I'm going to pull on your thumb. The coins are going to land in your hand. You're not going to see it, but you will feel it. It's going to freak you out a little bit. Depending on the audience I'm performing for, I might even get them to try. I say, now, you know, when I pull on your thumb, you're going to feel it. Would you like to have a practice? And then they'll know that one of 2 things will happen. They'll either go, ah, which is funny for the whole audience, or they won't. So they go, yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't do that either as well. Don't try and force them to do that. But what I'm doing is I'm kind of conditioning them so that when that coin lands in their hand, they are going to react. And by doing this, they react every single time. And that's important, because when I pull on their thumb, we get 3 moments of magic, as opposed to 1. When you normally do a coins across, you do this, boom, the first coin's gone across. That's your 1 moment of magic. But with this, it's like, right, I'm going to pull on your thumb. So the first moment of magic is I close my hand around the 3 coins, I pull on the thumb, I drop the classic palm coin, and she reacts. It's like, oh! And the audience can see that, and they react to her reaction, because I've just told them that she's going to react when the coin lands. So now nothing has happened magically, but they are now reacting to it even though they haven't seen it happen, which is why it's so important to get that reaction. Because if I don't do that and I do this, I drop the coin and they don't do anything, the spectator doesn't react in any way, nothing's happened to the audience. So the audience already are thinking, oh my gosh, that's amazing, just by her reaction. So that's the first beat. Beat number 1, the coin drops, she reacts. Boom. Second moment of magic, I open up my hand and I show that I've only got 2 coins left. Now they've seen the vanish, and there's another reaction there. So now they're reacting to the coin vanishing, and then I move my hand away and I show that the coin's in her hand. So it's almost like a 3-beat process. It's rather than rushing it and going, look, the coin's jumped across, that's 1. Let's do it again. The second coin, it's more of a boom, 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 to really build up that reaction. And what you are trying to do here is build that reaction to a crescendo. And it's really important that you do that, because when you're performing in a gig environment, it might be a wedding, it might be a private party, it might be a restaurant, and you're doing table magic, you want those spectators to sound like they're having a good time. Because ultimately, there's going to be somebody that's hired you. It might be the restaurant, it might be the bride and groom, it might be somebody else. But if they can see all of their spectators are like going, oh my gosh, that's amazing, they are going to be more happy with your performance, if that kind of makes sense. So for me, it's really important I'm getting everybody to react, and I try and encourage it as much as possible. Then the second coin that goes across, I explain. I want to, again, make it as magical as possible. I don't want to repeat it. It's important that a routine like this, where you've got 3 phases that are in essence the same, it's important that each phase builds. So how do you build that second phase when you're basically doing the same thing? Well, very, very simply, you say, now the second coin, you'll hear it land because there's 1 coin there. When it lands, it clinks. So now you're adding an audible illusion into that. So now you're showing the 2 coins, you pull the thumb, you hear the clink, and it's the same thing. It's a 3-beat process. They hear the clink, that's the first moment of magic. Then the second moment of magic is you show the coin's gone, and then you show it's arrived in the hand. And again, you're maximizing the reactions from the audience. Very, very important. And then the final phase, that's where it's going to happen in their hand. How does that routine build? Because it happens in the spectator's hand. So you say, look, the last one, hold your hand out. I'm going to put the 2 coins here. Would you like this last coin to go the easy way or the hard way? The easy way, ha ha ha. Again, it's a joke, but it relaxes the audience and it completely just relaxes them. They're not going to be looking for a move, and that's when you take the shell and you close their hands. So now they have 3 coins, they think there's 2, you're way ahead of them. So now all you have to do is some sort of vanish, doesn't really matter what. I vary the vanish depending on the performance. Boom, the coin's vanished, and then you draw attention here. You don't just want to say the coin's gone, open up your hand, it's there, that's all 3 coins. Again, it's really important to manage this moment so that everybody is aware and laser focused of what's going to happen. So you go, right, the final coin's vanished. Now let me ask you a question. If I told you there were 3 coins in your hand, would you believe me? Of course you wouldn't. So if there's 3 coins there, every single person here is going to give a huge round of applause for you. And I'm focusing attention over here, and I'm almost taking a step back from this so that everybody, it's such a strong moment. They can't imagine for a second that there's going to be a coin in their hand. That's impossible. From a layman's point of view, okay, maybe there's some way you can rationalize a coin jumping when the magician's holding it, but have it happen in the spectator's hand, that's impossible, right? So everybody's focusing there. That allows me to step back, ditch the shell, and grab the 3-inch jumbo coin. So now I've grabbed that 3-inch jumbo coin. No one's looking at me. They're all looking over there at the spectator. So they open up their hand. They see the 3 coins. They're reacting. And if I haven't ditched the shell at that point, I'll load it back onto the coin. Either way, I'm able to show my hand's empty. I've got the jumbo coin. And so now I say, well, every trick needs a big finish. Let me show you the big finish. I take the coin and I just do a shuttle pass and I produce the 3-inch coin. Now, if you've never done a jumbo coin production before, let me tell you, the second that you make that jumbo coin appear, nothing else matters. Laymen haven't seen anything like that before. So when that 3-inch coin, and you'll notice I use quite a meaty jumbo coin because my attitude is if I'm going to produce a 3-inch coin, I'm going to produce a 3-inch coin, right? So when that appears and they see that there, it's like, oh my gosh, whoa, let me look at that. People want to look at it, they want to examine it. You've got all the time in the world from a misdirection point of view. And again, this whole routine, it's about knowing where to focus the audience's attention. So when you want them to focus over there, they focus there. When you want them to focus on your hands, they focus on your hands. Right now, everybody is focusing on that 3-inch coin, and you just take a step back. And when you do, you grab the 5-inch coin, which I keep in my back pocket, and I just put it in a modified curl palm. And then you'll notice everyone's there. I then take a step towards the spectator and on my left. And the reason is I'm going to take that 5-inch coin and I'm going to produce it from behind their ear. And what I want to do is I want to get my hand behind their hand. If I've got a big gap between me and the spectator, they're going to see that coin as I go across. So I step towards the spectator, I reach behind their back, I look at the spectator in the eye, I grab everyone's attention again, and I go, of course, I understand where that one came from, it's where this one came from, I don't understand. And you pull the 5-inch coin from out of their ear, and you drop that one as well. Game over. You want to establish yourself as a magician that really does powerful magic. Think about that. It's like a 4-minute routine. Each phase builds. Then you've got a 3-inch production. Then you've got a 5-inch production. Oh my gosh. Now let's have a look at that video again. But this time I'm going to do a commentary over it. And hopefully if you pay attention to what I've just said and you listen to what I'm saying in the commentary, it's all going to make sense from an audience management point of view. And I want you to specifically look at where I'm standing and how I'm drawing the spectators in and how I'm actually building up each individual reaction. So rather than just doing a trick and getting a round of applause, you build it up to a crescendo because you're building in so many magical moments and you're focusing those moments. So the audience know what's going to happen and they're clapping at each point, which makes the routine and the performance better ultimately. So let's have a look at that again.
Right, so if we have a look at this clip, the first thing that you'll notice is I start shifting people around, and this is because I want to make sure that I'm picking the right person. I've already identified who this person is. I've spent a couple of minutes with the group, warming them up a little bit, probably done something very, very quick to begin. So I know that this girl here is going to be amazing, so I ask her to move. I can see she's got stuff in her hands, so I make a joke of it as I ask her boyfriend to hold on to her drink for her. There's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is I want her hands completely free, and it's going to be awkward for me if she's holding stuff. But it can be quite rude getting somebody else to hold somebody else's stuff if you don't approach it the right way. So you have to kind of do it with a joke. Now we get to the point where I'm giving coins out for examination. I really do believe with coin magic, it is very important that people examine the coins, especially when you're using coins that people have never seen before. So here we go. I'm now getting a couple of hands together, and I'm introducing the concept of the trick, and there's the coin roll. As I say, this is done to establish credibility. This is done to let people know that I know what I'm doing. And you'll see my style is a comedy magician, so I'm putting jokes in all the time. The whole idea is just to relax people. So now I've explained the concept of what's going to happen. The coins are going to jump from one place to another. By the way, as a side note, you'll see my sleeves are rolled up. I really do believe if you're doing coin magic, you need to have your sleeves rolled up. Laymen think that coins go up the sleeve, and the easiest way to disprove that is to have your sleeves rolled up. So now, here's the concept that I was talking to you about the coins jumping across. So I've conditioned her to react when she feels the coins arrive. You see her react, then you see me open my hand to show that the coin is gone, and then you see me reveal the coin in the other hand. Now you notice that I'm actually prepping the next phase of the routine on the offbeat. So as everyone's laughing and everyone's kind of just enjoying the moment, that's when I palm the coin and I unnest the shell. And the nice thing about a shell is that once I'm in that position, I can focus the attention on the two coins in my hand because it's the world's cleanest coin vanish. Of course, I just have to open up my, close my hand and open it up, and the coin will have disappeared. So it's knowing about where you can focus the people's attention. So in this situation, you notice that I actually get her to pick the shell off, and I actually get her to put the shell into my hand. Now, I know a lot of magicians find that very, very risky, but you'll notice that before I did that, I told her exactly what to do. I want you to hold the shell like that. I want you to put it into my hand, then close your hand straight away. Honestly, in all the years I've ever done this, I've never had a problem. Now, you notice that I stole the coin from thumb palm, from heel grip, and there was no heat on that at all. But now this is really time misdirection. I know it's a cheesy joke, and some magicians might like it, some magicians might not. But the whole point of that is it's time misdirection. I'm not doing the move to vanish the coin and then immediately vanishing it. I'm putting a little bit of time misdirection in there. And then the attention is focused back on her hand, at which point I say, hey, if it was in your hand, would that be good? Building up that reaction, and then you show that it's there. Now, in this clip, I've actually got a coin vanish as well. So you notice that the coin went into my pocket. I ditched one of the coins on the offbeat. I did it when they were focusing attention. They were laughing, they were joking. They think the trick's over, and I get rid of one of the coins, which means I've only got 2 coins in a shell. So it's absolutely perfect for me to be in a situation where I can make 1 coin disappear. Now, again, notice the move is done on the offbeat. There goes the next coin. I have a reason to put my hand in my pocket, though, because I'm saying, would you like me to put my hand in my pocket? Would you like me to leave it out in the open? Whatever they say is not a problem. But look at how clean this vanish is. Because I'm using a shell, I can very, very cleanly have that vanish. And I think, look at how I'm handling the shelled coin. I think it's very important when you have got a shell over a coin, you handle it very freely like that. I see a lot of magicians that use shells and they just telegraph that they are using a shell because it's so obvious that there's something happening with that coin. The easiest way around that is to just be very, very natural with it. Now, in this case, I do a little bit of a flurry. I'm just making, a David Roth style flurry, having coins appear and disappear. Now, in this case, to get the jumbo coin, I pretend to put the coin in my pocket so I can steal the jumbo. There's the jumbo. Now, watch the reaction. I focus everyone's attention onto the hand. I do the 3-inch production. And then immediately, once I've done the 3-inch production, boom. At that point, I make the 3-inch appear, and then after that, everyone's looking at the 3-inch coin. I steal the 5-inch coin from my back pocket, and I produce that. And at the end, by the time you produce those 2 coins, they are just completely and totally beaten up by magic. If you're a working professional, and you only have 5 or 6 minutes with a group of people, I really don't think there should be any filler tricks. I think that what you should be doing is doing the strongest magic that you can to make sure that you're maximizing the impact of your performance.
So, by now, you guys understand the flow of this routine. Now, there's one thing that I want to talk to you about, which is what happens when you go into a completely different environment. And it's something that a lot of magicians don't think of. When they learn a routine or they learn a trick, they learn the trick, they learn the moves, and they go out and perform it. But a lot of the time, the environment changes the routine that you're performing. It has to change it. It has to make it different because each environment is different. So I'm going to show you a clip right now of another performance of the same trick. Okay, so I'm going to show you another performance of the same trick, but this performance isn't outside. This performance is at a wedding. It's an evening wedding reception. If you've ever worked an evening wedding reception before, you'll know that they can be very loud, very noisy environments. And this is to a group of people that have just been standing around. They're very near the dance floor. They're just off to the side of the dance floor. And there's a group of a few of them standing up. And you can see that I go into this same routine, but I went to watch the performance and see how things are handled differently.
I feel so magical. You're right. We got coins inside here. Now these are silver American dolls, and these are over 100 years old. The reason I use these is so you guys can see them from a distance. Now before I do anything, I want you guys to examine the coins, check them out, make sure they're okay. Make sure there's no wires, no magnets, no trapdoors. Please take your time. I get paid by the hour. Do what you want is what I'm saying. Is that okay? Amazing stuff. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and step. You go 1 step straight. I'm trusting you. So you like you don't trust with your face. Step through this for me. Make it Oliver Twist. So here's the idea. One at a time, I'm going to make these coins jump, pass, and travel from one place to another. Like magic. What do they say? You know what that's called? It's showing off. Here we go, sleeve, across the chest, down the other sleeve, and into the hand. You won't see this one step. You know when it happens by the look on the face. When the hand is in your hand, you're going to be like this. Can you practice the looking when you just go with it? So good. It's so good. Right, here we go. Up the sleeve, across the chest, down the other sleeve, and into your hand. You ready, guys? 3 coins. I'm pulling the finger, the first one goes. Watch this. 1, 2. Let's look. And as it looks at you actually drop the first coin. Go from there over to there. That's coin number 1. That's the bit where we go, ooh. So you know that's probably the most sarcastic group I've ever heard in my life, but that's okay. We're doing it again. How many? Keep your hands focus there, focus. Right, okay, that's okay. How many coins here? How many here? Nothing in the hand. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. That's the second one. And say that right. That's because it didn't land in your hand. Try not to freak out, Steph. It actually landed on her shoulder. Check that out. Seriously, Steph, I'm not kidding. I'm so lucky. That's just weird. I love the look on your face. You look like a rabbit caught your head. So 1 here, 2 here. That's right. Last one. You'll hear it clink. Watch. Listen to the clink. 1, 2. Listen to the clink. Here it comes. Last one. That's 1. That's 2. You like this last one to go the easy way or the hard way? I'm glad you said that. Easy way kind of sucks. It's not very good. Right. Hang on. Take 1. Squeeze the other 2 tightly. Squeeze your hand. Take your hand over. I have to make this last coin jump from my close fist from here to here. Can you do me a favour? Can you rub the back of my hand? It's got nothing to do with the trick. It just feels nice. It's probably the perk of the job, shall we? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. If I told you to stay, would you believe it? Thanks to faith, I appreciate that. That's nice. If it is there, they're going to go crazy. Okay, seriously, they are. Take your hand, turn the other hand on. 3 coins, people! I know, isn't that crazy? That look is why I got into magic right now. By the way. Should we carry on? Should we do one more? Would you like to see another?
Right, so if you've watched that video, you'll see that it is basically the same thing. It's the monster coin routine, or the coins across phase for the monster coin routine, but there's been a few differences. There's been a few changes. And one of the big changes that you'll notice in this particular environment is that I did a coin to shoulder after the first phase. I had the coin go onto the spectator's shoulder. Now, the reason I did that is because it was viable to do it. Now, what I mean by that is it's about knowing your environment. I don't always do coin on shoulder as part of this routine. I have to be in the right place. I have to be in the right time. The environment has to be the best. And I find it a lot easier to do coin on shoulder when I'm dealing with a spectator that has naked shoulders, right? Which a lot of the time is going to be a wedding because a lot of people wear strappy dresses. Now, you can do it on cloth, and I have done it on cloth quite a few times, but I do tend to find that it's a lot easier when you've got bare skin more than anything else. So when I went over to this group, I looked around, and again, this goes back to picking the right spectator. I looked around, everyone looked like they were having a good time. There was one particular spectator that looked like she'd been having an even better time, and that person also had a strappy dress on. So I was like, okay, great, I'm going to be able to do coins across here. So then I go in to perform, and it's really important that you position yourself in a play. You don't want to be doing spectator juggling halfway through the routine. So what you need to do is, as you go up to the audience, you need to be aware of who it is that you're going to be using, and you need to position yourself so that they are where you need them to be. So I classic palm in my right hand. I'm right-handed. I know that I need my spectator to be on my right side near me. They can't be on the left side. They can't be in front of me. They have to be on my right side. I don't want to be crossing over my hands to perform for them. So a lot of the time, I will be able to say, hey, my opening line a lot of the time is, hey, my name's Craig, I'm the magician here, hope you're having a great evening, it's my job to show you some magic, would you be my glamorous assistant? Wonderful, thank you so much. And then what I'll do is I'll say, let me just come and stand by you for a minute, or if they're all the way over there, I'll say, do me a favor, sir, can you just switch places, just so I can have the lady near me, I need my glamorous assistant right next to me, or whatever it is that you're going to say. But the point is that you do that right at the very beginning of the routine. Now, the other thing that I want you to note is, because I knew I was doing coins on shoulder, I conditioned that I was touching her shoulder. You'll notice during the opening preamble and during the opening presentation, as I'm talking to them and I'm saying, hey, it's going to land in your hand, it's going to be like this. A lot of the time I'm looking at her, I'm gently touching her shoulder. I'm getting her used to the fact that I'm touching her shoulder, so that when I dump the coin onto her shoulder, she's used to that move. She's used to the fact that I'm kind of gently touching her shoulder. So I set that up beforehand, and you'll notice that I do that. I'm talking to her and I'm doing this. So that after the first phase, so the first coin's just gone across, it makes this routine an extra phase longer. So the first coin has just gone across. I come back over here. I go, let me do that again. And I load the coin. But as soon as the coin is loaded, everyone's attention comes down to here. Everybody's attention immediately comes down to here, because I don't want them looking up at her face. So I go, look, let's do it again. Watch these coins. Watch these coins. Watch very, very carefully. We're going to do the next thing again. Watch, here we go. Boom. Did you feel it? You didn't feel it. No, that's because it didn't land in your hand. It landed on your shoulder. And I'm focusing attention down here. Now, you have to be aware that if you're doing magic like this, you might be in a situation where somebody will say, hey, it's already on her shoulder. A lot of the time, it won't be the person whose shoulder you're putting it on. It'll be somebody else that's not looked down, or they looked up for a second and they see it. Now, if that happens, what I'll do, this is the perfect routine to do that. Because if I can see, I will be able to see before they say anything, I'll be able to see that they've clocked the coin. It happens very rarely, but I can see that somebody's clocked it. And a lot of the time, I'll look at them and I'll just wink. And they'll wink back at me as if to say, hey, I know that you know what's going on here, play along with me, and they will, you know. Now, occasionally, I don't get them in time, and they'll look up, or they're an arse or whatever it may be, and they'll go, hey, it's on your shoulder. Now, if they go, it's on your shoulder, everybody will look up at the shoulder, and all I do is I close my hand and open it again, and I nest the coin into the shell. And I go, yeah, of course it's on the shoulder, it's not over here. And it's almost like the second that the guy said it's gone on the shoulder, the coin vanished from the hand and they didn't see it. So, and I think that's really important when you're doing close-up magic. You need to have an out for every scenario. And I don't just mean generically know a few different outs. Dissect your routine. Look at all the different places where the trick can go wrong. Think about how it can go wrong, what can happen, and then what you will do in that scenario if it does go wrong. Because if you don't do that and something like that happens and they call you out on it and you don't know what to do, that's when magicians fluster and it's like, oh, you don't want to be. You want to be the cool, calm professional that's there, and it's like almost magic's happening at a whim. And the way to do that is to dissect the routine, work out where it can go wrong, and come up with a solution beforehand. So that if somebody says, hey, it's on the shoulder, you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to think about it because you already have an out for that scenario. And if you don't do that with your routines, please do that. That's very, very important. And then you can see that I handled the production of the jumbo coins slightly differently, but it's still basically the same routine. I just have to speak a little bit louder because I'm not outside, I'm inside. But the big thing to take away from this particular handling is I added the extra phase. And you need to be aware of when you can do that and when you can't do that. So let's have a look at that performance one more time. But this time I'll do a commentary track over the video and we can talk about everything that I've just discussed with you in real time.
Right, okay, so let's have a look at this routine. So in this case, you'll notice that I take the coins from the purse to begin with, which is absolutely fine. And I've also already kind of changed the position of the spectators so that the girl I've decided to use in this routine is positioned directly on my right. Now again, please notice that I give the coins out at the beginning, very, very important. And you'll also notice that the girl I'm going to be performing to is actually holding a glass at the moment. Now you'll see in a second that I'm going to get that out the way. I really do believe in coin magic it's important that you have the coins examined. I want them to examine them when they can and not feel halfway through that they want to examine the coins when we're in a situation where they can't examine them. Now you'll notice I took the glass off the girl and I gave it to a guy over there, but I did it in a very jovial way. It's really important, as I said in the first commentary track, that you do this in a really funny way so that you don't, cause offence in any way. So now we're into the routine and you'll notice it starts exactly the same. So it starts with me making the coin jump, but there's the touch on the shoulder. So you can see right from the very beginning of the routine, I'm conditioning that touch on that shoulder. I want her to get used to me touching her on the shoulder gently. Because I know that I've seen the bare skin on the shoulder. I've decided that this would be a perfect opportunity to add a second phase in and go into coin on shoulder. And because of that, I need to condition her. So look at this. You see that I focus attention on the 3 coins, and there's that 3 beats again. Look, beat number 1, she feels the coin. Beat number 2, I show the vanish. Beat number 3, the coin arrives. And you can see everyone reacting. Now you'll notice that after the first phase, I'll normally try to encourage more applause. And it's really important that I do that so the booker can see that I'm doing a good job. Now there's the load on the shoulder. So you'll notice now I'm pointing at the 2 coins. I'm focusing everyone's attention. That hand has moved away from her hand. I want everyone looking there at the vanish. I then draw attention back to her. You've got the surprise of the coin not arriving. And then I point out the coin on the shoulder, and you can see the reactions that we've got there from absolutely everybody. That's why I love doing coin on shoulder, because the reactions are just crazy. Now, while everyone's laughing, you can see I've set up for the next phase now. So this, in essence, now becomes a 4-phase routine, because the coin on shoulder doesn't replace the second phase. It just gets added in beforehand. So we've still got that second coin jumping across, but you can see the reactions are even stronger now, because at this point, nobody knows what's going on. Where they're going to go, what's going to happen, no one knows. Now, we're now into the final coin. And you'll notice here that I don't get the girl to pick the shell up and put it in my hand. And the reason is I had a feeling that I might have a bit of a problem with her. It might have been because when I gave her something to hold earlier on, I might have had a problem with her. I don't know. But I made the decision there not to have her pick up the shell. And I think that's really important when you're performing close-up magic, especially with coins. You have to be able to go in a completely different direction depending on what happens. You might have a clear plan of action, but then the environment or the people you're performing for or their reactions might move you in another direction. Now, you'll notice I'm not doing a jumbo coin production here. I'm about to go into a rubber band thing, and you'll notice that I just took a rubber band off my wrist and I I palmed it in my hand, in my right hand. That's because I'm about to go into a rubber band routine, and the load of the rubber band was done on the offbeat of the coins arriving in her hand. Now, the only reason I'm not doing a jumbo coin production is because I want to go back into coins afterwards, and it'd be anticlimactic to do another coin routine after a jumbo coin production. So again, it's all about knowing or having an idea of where you're going with your performance and making sure that it's all clearly mapped out.
So there you have it. Okay, so that's a coin routine done in the real world in a couple of different environments, and we've looked at how to actually do this and how to manage an audience and how to actually make sure that people are standing in the right place, how to make them look where you want them to look, and how to manage those jumbo coin productions. I think it's really important. Don't be scared of doing coin magic. Coin magic is a beautiful thing to do, and if you actually do it correctly, you can see the reactions that it gets from people. A lot of the time, the reactions to coin magic can far outweigh the reactions to card magic a lot of the time. So don't be afraid of doing coin magic. And it's important to understand through the whole of this video, the most important thing is to manage your audience. Be aware, if you have one take home from this, it's be aware of where all of your spectators are. Be aware of what they're thinking and almost be 3 steps ahead of them. And that's kind of really important. Be ahead of the spectator. When the spectator is reacting, you're already thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead. And that's what makes a really successful close-up magician. So now I'm throwing this over to you. I want to know what you thought of this video. Let me know in the comments down below. Is this something you'd like to see more of? I want to do a video like this, but examining a routine where things have gone wrong and how I actually got myself out of it. Let me know if that would be useful for you. And if there's particular other things that you like, would you like me to do this with other props? I'm a big fan of chop cup in the real world. I'm thinking about doing chop cup. Let me know if that would be something that you'd like to see as well. Let me know. And if there's any other videos you'd like me to put together, I am more than happy to do that. And also, please guys, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, give me a comment down below. We're doing 14 videos a week at this point, and it really means a lot when I see a comment or a like. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below, and I will see you again soon. I think tomorrow we've got a rant. Saturday we've got an honest trailer. Sunday we've got a Q&A. Monday we've got a marketing for magicians. Wednesday we've got the review show with Ryan. I'm back next Thursday with another magic stuff. So I'll see you then. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.